War is a major part of Call of Dragons, and there are some tips that you must know in order to do well in the war, as well as survive it. Whether you're a spender, free-to-play, or a whale, this is going to be a video where I cover some of the most important tips, as well as very crucial information about different war aspects of this game, such as alliance territory, passes, rallies, hospital, healing, and so on. Hey everyone, I'm Zoaz from Not Casuals, and today I'm bringing you a war guide video where I'm gonna go over everything there is to know for the first wars in Call of Dragons. Now, of course, most people have just started the game like me, and there is some stuff that we will not know for sure from the beta because things have changed. The first thing that is going to be a priority is having strong marches. Now, this is done by, of course, having a lot of troops. So, for example, when I send one of my legion, this is my legion right now, it is all casters, I can field 75,000 out of 79, meaning that I have a capacity of 79,000 troops, which is pretty decent. Whales and bigger accounts will go in the 100,000-ish plus, but you want to be basically as high as possible because the more troops you have, the stronger your troop is, and the more your hero's abilities are going to scale with that. Now, in order to have as many troops as possible, the level of your hero is going to be what matters. As you can see here, I bring 14,000 extra troops for my hero being level 44. Every level gives basically an extra 500 at this point, which is a decent boost. Now, otherwise, the highest amount of troops will come from the notice board. You will have all of these military expansion. I have 8,000 troops here. I have another one here, 13,500 troops here, and I have another 8,000, 9,000 here, and of course, going to go all the way up to 20,000. Now, these are very important as this is going to be one of the single biggest buff you can do to yourself, having as many troops as possible in one march. Now, of course, that also means you need to train these troops so that you have enough to fill the march. For whatever march you have, whether you're a player with a lot of marches and you're spending, or you're a free-to-play where you're going to focus on only one march, you want marches on the field to be strong, because if you have marches of 10,000, 15,000, they're literally just going to melt to the AoE from people's marches. They won't even have an impact. They'll just die instantly. Now, while we are talking about marches, there are a few things here that will be quite interesting information to know. When you are getting a march out of your city, you will see there's modes. This mode is basically asking your legion to follow the road or not, meaning that if we go on the road, they will walk faster, but if they don't, they can basically walk along random routes that you can set for them, like preset routes. The road priority mode is mostly best because it gives movement speed and there's no malice really. But the one that we want to talk about here is the intercept mode. Now, pass mode means that if you are walking side by side with an enemy troop of some kind, you will just walk by each other and keep walking, which is fine in some instance, but in some instance you don't want that to happen because you want to fight them, right? So intercept mode means that anytime a non-friendly legion comes close to you, you will instantly engage them in combat. Now, this is obviously going to be more important to put on troops that are melee, like cavalry and infantry, because they are going to be the ones that you want to send into combat. And when you get into this intercept mode, you get in melee range of them, you're basically locking them in combat with you, and they have no choice but to fight you. And in often cases, they have a malice because you're fighting in melee and they're ranged units, so it is going to be a bonus. Now, talking about malices and bonuses, you can see this information here. When you go into your unit's information, you will see here it shows you the unit advantage system. Now, this is what counters each other. So, for example, knights, which are cavalry, will counter the marksmen. Marksmen will counter mages. Mages will counter infantry. Infantry will counter cavalry, right? So it's a pretty straightforward, meaning that it deals more damage to that unit and takes less damage from it. I don't know the exact percentages, but I do know that it's significant. A cavalry into marksman will melt marksman, just as marksman attacking a mage troop will melt the mage troop. And mages attacking infantry will also do quite a significant amount of damage, even though infantry are still quite tanky. This game is going to be a lot more about strategy than Rise of Kingdom, for example, where the placement of your units will be pretty important, and having infantry close to your range units, for example, to block with the intercept mode, cavalry advances or backstabs. These are all going to be strategies that will come into play, and it will be definitely something that you will have to put more thoughts into than just clicking and dragging, as every player's action and position will have an impact. Now, next about war is going to be the healing. Now, as many of you might know by now, in this game, healing is free for the most part, meaning that your hospital has zero capacity, as in there is no capacity maximum. You can have 10,000 million units in your hospital, it won't matter. You can literally lose all your units and none of them will die from an overfilled hospital, which is a great thing. Now you can see that I get free healing every day, so 136,000 units can basically get severely wounded and get healed for free. It will obviously take time. I have 6,000 units wounded right now. It's going to take an hour before I can heal them. And basically every few minutes you can click and get, a few of these units, and it will let you periodically empty your hospital that way. My mistakes to avoid video talks about this more. There is policies that will increase this, and it's very important for 99% of the players. If you're not a well, you invest in free healing as much as possible, and it will literally let you heal over the course of many days, so you will have no worries of losing all your troops, for example, or something like that. Now, if you are a well and if you are in a hurry to fight right away, you have a daily healing, which is paid healing. As you can see, I can heal these troops for this amount. It's pretty cheap because most of my wounded units are low tier units. There's no tier 4 or tier 5, but tier 4 and tier 5 will cost an insane amount to heal. It will not be worth it for anyone but very, very rich wells. And you can see the capacity is still quite small because most of my policies went into the other one. You see I have almost no policy here. But as you level up your hospital, I have only a few hospitals that are leveled up. You can see, this one's level 6 and this one's level 5, 8, and this one's level 21. So you can level up quite a few hospitals in order to give you more capacity. Now, in terms of dying units, how do you lose units? It is actually quite straightforward in this game. Anything in the field gets severely wounded. You lose no units permanently. They get wounded, you have to heal them. Now, anything that Darklings Behemoth is the same thing. You can heal them, and not all units who die in battle get severely wounded, only a portion of them. So you'll be able to still keep fighting with less and less units as your hospital fills up, but you will not fill up your hospital just instantly by losing your War March, which is basically like Rise of Kingdom. Now, for this, it's very particular in terms of when you are defending your city. So this is your city, or any city, is attacked by enemies. 10% of the defending severely wounded units will die, and 50% of the enemy's severely wounded units will die. Meaning that when you attack an enemy's city, unless you are very, very strong and outpowering them like crazy, it will be very, very detrimental. It is not a good trade to attack cities, as you will have a lot of units just die instead of going to the hospital. And units dying is very bad, as it costs speed ups and time to train them, especially in the early game. Now, the only other thing in this game that seems to be rallyable, other than cities, is passes. Because you can't rally flags, you can't rally fortresses. We're going to go over this in a little bit, but meaning that when you are rallying a pass, 35% of the severely wounded units that are defending will die, while 50% of the attacking will die. So meaning that the defenders still have quite a big advantage here. They will have a lot less units die than the attackers, but it's still much more close than it is for the city. Now, there's no limit to the capacity of hospital, and you can heal your units however you like. So this is very, very different than Rise of Kingdom, of course. We will not see a lot of rallies, and we will be able to heal for free, which will take a lot less resource drain in this game, a lot less farming needed in the later stages of this game. So this is great news. Now, another part of this game, of course, is going to be Alliance Towers, which are basically flags, and they are going to act the same. You can see, as you have territory, you build these flags to connect your territory. It's going to create roads in between. You can also build these roads, and it gives a big marchman speed bonus for your units, which is great as you're walking around your territory. Now, the towers themselves act very similarly as anything else in Rise of Kingdom, for example. They are used to expand your territory, and when you're gathering inside your territory, you have 25% boost, which is great. And again, like Rise of Kingdom, when your city is located within your alliance territory, enemies cannot attack it. If your alliance loses a territory, you will lose its protection. Meaning that as long as you are in your alliance's territory, now you have to be in the alliance that this flag belongs to. Now this is my alliance. So if I am anywhere in this blue circle or this blue square, for example, I cannot be attacked. My city is safe. Now, if you go to sleep on a territory and your alliance loses it overnight, you will still get zeroed and you will lose your city, or at least your troops and the resources in it. Now, another particularity about Alliance Towers, if you click the little cogwheel here, I think you have to be an officer to see it, but basically you can connect to villages to get bonuses and resources for your alliance, which is great. But for PvP, you can also upgrade your tower to do a city barrage. Basically, it is an upgrade that will transform your tower into a siege tower, which will automatically attack any nearby enemy cities, gradually reducing the durability even if they have a city shield, which means that eventually it will reach 0 and the city will be automatically randomly teleported away from where it's at. Now, this doesn't do damage to the troops, meaning that basically, like you can see on the image here, if you have an alliance territory here and enemies are either coming with their own territory or their own cities and stuff, or you have old cities that are kind of in the way that you can't attack or they don't know worth attacking, well, if you upgrade these towers, they will eventually expose all of these. So like if there's a lot of dead cities on your territory and you need that area for fighting, you can upgrade and then this will take care of that. As well as during war when people are pushing, if you're defending that tower and you want their cities to not be able to get so close so they have a less of an advantage, this is going to be something that will be impactful for that. Now moving on to the Alliance Fortress and the Core Fortresses. Now if we go here in the menu, you can see the Core Fortress is basically the main building of your alliance. You will be able to create this for free and create it pretty much anywhere that your alliance has access to. So basically, you need to be in your own zone, or if you own the pass to a next zone, then in that zone, you will be able to drop the Core Fortress and start new alliance territory from there. And of course, Alliance Fortress 1 and 2 are basically the same thing. They cost resources to build, as well as they are not able to be dropped just anywhere. So meaning that the trick that most people are going to be doing, including ourselves, is like, here we have a Core Fortress here and we have an Alliance Fortress here. Now we have done this first and we build this afterwards. Now if we remove this, our territory is not impacted. So now if we were to remove one of these, our territory would still connect and have no problem, but then we can place this somewhere else and then we could go and fight pretty much anywhere we wanted depending on our plans. Now, unlike Rise of Kingdom, attacking fortress, the only option you have is destroy. Same as any flags, you can only destroy. So there is no such thing as rallying. The entire fighting around fortresses and flag happens in the open field, meaning that you'll have a lot of troops, fighting, and then whoever wins this fight will start having their units hammer at this fortress or this tower slowly, and eventually it will destroy itself. It takes, again, a few hours to do so, destroying and so on. Meaning that if you are getting attacked and there is a string of fortress, all you have to do is regain the open field fighting in order to get that fortress back or defend it. Now, there is another building in this game that is called the Alliance Keeps. Now, here is one of our allies' Alliance Keep that they've built just to show you basically what it looks like. This is going to be a bit different, and it needs to be built, of course, on some territory. And when we look here, these are powerful structures. They are good for choke points. You can see this is the area in which it attacks. So there's a lot of information here, of course, so it's good to read it, meaning that each alliance member can put one ranged legion inside of these. And there's no limit to that. And basically meaning that whenever someone comes in the area, the first alliance members range march will start attacking them. It's basically, I think, one at a time. It'll have to be tested because it's a bit unclear, but it means that's what I'm getting from reading this. So one at a time, it will attack anyone who's here. And then the unit that is there can counterattack, but they can't come directly attack this march. They can only attack the keep itself. So meaning that it will be doing like free damage to basically anyone who's walking by. Of course, you're going to have troops defend on top of that, usually. You can come and attack the alliance keep, and destroy it. Basically meaning that you're going to have to control the field and have your units in melee range start like taking at it, and it will slowly die while attacking at the same time, of course, unless it's empty. So it is going to be something that people are going to use because it's going to kind of allow some extra protected range units to kind of like always be able to attack, meaning that this is going to be a pretty interesting defensive structure to use in PvP, and you can build up to 6 per alliance, and in order to unlock it, you have to research it in the alliance tech. One last thing I want to mention is going to be about fort dropping, basically meaning that you can drop a fort away from your base. I want to clarify a little bit of details as there's been a lot of questions about this. So the way it works, as you can see, I'm going to use 36MT as an example. They're a pretty big alliance on my server, and they build this territory here. Their alliance territory is up here, and then they've dragged all the way around here, which is pretty inefficient, but it is, I think, what they were stuck with. But they also have another fort right here. So this is going to be basically their core fortress, as you can see. So what they did is, as I said a bit earlier, they went up here in their territory, and then they built their core fortress here. Now they built a second fortress like right there beside it, and then they removed their core fortress and dropped it here. Obviously the objective is to be able to defend both sides. Now this is going to allow their members to fight and teleport on this territory and be situated here if they want to fight, which is, a good strategy as well, as much as you're splitting yourself up quite far. Because in this game, when you're teleporting, you will only be able to teleport on your alliance's territory And if you change alliance, you will incur a very, very long cooldown in which you will not be able to teleport to your city at all. I think at City Hall 20 or 21, it's over 10 hours. So if you change alliance, you can't just go to a new alliance and teleport to the turret, fight from there. It's not like Rise of Kingdom at all. You must stay in your alliance. If you change alliance, you have a huge cooldown. You won't be able to teleport, and it will be very much of a pain to do anything afterwards, and you're going to be stuck, not able to fight. So this is why you have to do this. You have to fort drop like this. Now, for example, if they take their level 1 pass here, they could also have taken this fortress, or they can make another fortress here and take this one, to drop it anywhere in this zone, as they would now be the owners of this pass and have access to this zone. They wouldn't be able to go further down to other zones, but they would be able to do so in their own zone. Now, another thing you can do in this game is going to be Barricade. So if you click anywhere here, you'll have the option to deploy, which means sending out troops, relocate to move your city, and Barricade. Now, you can see I basically just get those barricades. I can put them pretty much anywhere that's not obstructed, and it costs a decent amount. I can build 6 of them. Now, what these do is only basically reducing the march speed of enemies that go through it, making everybody slow when they're walking through it, which means that you want to put them in choke points, and then enemies will walk through them while your range attacks are demolishing them, and they are very slow to get to you. And they can be destroyed by enemies, and there's quite a few research around barricades where you can start making more, making them stronger, as well as you can have buffs to destroy them and take them down faster in the form of engineering heroes, and a lot of policies that will affect barricades as well. Now, speaking of heroes, for PvP specifically, of course, heroes are going to have a big impact. But first, let's talk about the engineering tree, which here it is. The engineering order is one of the, the blue or engineers, so quite easy. And you can see here that I have a skill that basically increases my engineering bonus while building by 20% and while destroying by 20%. So when you're building barricades and alliance building, including forts and flags, and when you are destroying barricades or enemy buildings, which, other forts and stuff, it's going to be pretty meaningful to have these buffs because you want to destroy and build as fast as possible during war. And now if we go and look here, you can see, of course, the engineering talent here. There's nothing about engineering here, but this is the engineering tree. The first one is useless, but here, 10% engineering bonuses. There is another engineering stuff here, which is, great. It's kind of what you want if you have an engineer march. The rest of the stuff shouldn't matter. Your engineer march should really just engineer. It shouldn't do anything else. And infantry have the highest engineering of all troops, so you want to engineer with infantry as much as you can. Now, there's, engineering increases here, and then there's a lot of buffs here. I'm not going to go through all of them as they will differ and depend. So engineers are going to be very useful to have. You want to also, if you can, to have artifacts like this that lets you have more engineering, meaning that, when you are building a flag, for example, it will take quite a long time. If everybody brings an engineer and boosts them, it will take quite a lot less time, which will greatly advantage you because you'll be able to get into there faster and move faster and then teleport your cities on the new flags and so on, especially also when you're building fortresses. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is Resurgence. Now, if you go in the Augur Stone here, you can see Resurgence. Now, Resurgence means that you're going to be able to change your affiliated region. Now, as you know, in this game, there are quite a few regions. If we look here, all of these regions are starting zones. At the beginning, you could transfer from one to the other as long as you are not higher than level 12 castle level, and you could do this 5 times for free, right? So that's fine. And then when you got level 12, you are not able to move anymore. Now, the passes level 1 between these regions are opening, which means that you will be able to go back to another zone, for example, and if you would like to join another alliance. Now, the one thing about the Resurgence, you can see it's going to be here. This is going to cost you very, very much. If you are not happy with the region that you're in and you want to go in alliance in another region, that is fine, but you have to think of how much it's costs you to do that, because this will put 80% of your troops in the hospital. Not only that, but you will also lose all of your policies. So you go here, everything you've trained from the beginning, including the prestige cost, everything's reset. If you've spent gem, you don't get it back. And if you the time that you spend doing it, all gone. Now, you only get 50% of the prestige that you spent doing all of this. So as you can see, some of these are quite expensive. I've gotten this to level 15. Every time I do this is 52,000. Now, I don't have that much left because I've been doing it pretty extensively, but it will set you back so hard. Like, I have so much free healing research here and here. I have all of this here, artifact expertise, XP bonus, peacekeeping damage, all of this, you know, all the research they're gathering, all gone. And you only were able to get back 50% of it, let's just say. So if you are free to play or a low spender, this will set your account back tremendously. So it is very, very, very not recommended to resurge and change lines, unless you're, of course, in a zone where you have absolutely no hope of getting rewards and doing anything in the game. Of course, find another place, but know that it will be quite a while before you'll be able to do anything out of it. And eventually you'll be able to change lines and stuff without Resurgence. It comes like, it's very far. I don't know exactly where it is. There it is. So you will be able to change, like, you know, other alliance in the region, but that's like at the end of the game. Okay, guys, so sorry this video was a bit long. Of course, I tried to cover as much as I could about the PvP and the war aspect. So make sure to subscribe and stay tuned, as I'm going to make videos on this game regularly, and I'm going to update you on anything that there is to know about new stuff that comes out, as well as make sure to check out my other guides. I have a guide about all the mistakes you should avoid for new and returning players, as well as how to level up your heroes from the beginning. It's very, very important. You can't well heroes, so this is another thing. So make sure to stay tuned, subscribe, and leave a like on the video if this was helpful. If you have any question, ask in the comment. We answer all the comments, so no worries there. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.